might clear the house before, yeah, this isn't my 6 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm just saying I might clear the house if you guys are offended by my language.
We've got him up there, so I'm going to start it for you.
Language is power, and those who control what can and cannot be said hold power. There are words, phrases, and topics we can't say. Some we shouldn't, some we should. We live in a nation that values free speech, but there are countless rules that define what we can talk about and where. Some terms are derogatory to others, the N-word, the R-word, the S-word, and removing them from our common rhetoric is a step toward equality and empowerment for all. Is that a limitation of free speech? Certain topics are taboo, sensitive, or perhaps poor taste. The dinner table. The dinner table is not the place to discuss bodily functions or roadkill, unless you're a biologist. Bringing up your best friend's affair with a married man in front of her parents is generally not helpful. In fact, sex is the favorite for censorship. What is the difference between the word fuck and the phrase make love? Michael Foucault asserts that those who control reproduction control the economy and nations, and those in power aim to control how we talk about sex, how we do it, where we do it, when we do it, with whom or what we do it. Slang thumbs its nose at power, but why censor biology? Sex is just biological. So is shit. Every animal shits. If it eats, it shits. Even sponges, the living ones. Feces, guano, excrement, crap, poop, poopy. Pick one. Just don't pick it up unless you're walking your dog in the neighborhood or the park. Then you should pick it up and all of its warm, squishy fragrance, and then swing that poop bag through the air, wafting that afterglow between you and your loved one. Evolution. Evolution. Now there's a word. Dance around it with mutation, natural selection, adaptation, speciation. Yikes, not speciation. Why are we scared to say evolution, to acknowledge evolution, to embrace science as a way of knowing? Power. Power of the church to prevent believers from being thinkers, as if thinking could undermine faith. I don't know. The science of evolution, the science of climate change. There, climate change, I said it. Climate, climate, climate. Our planet's climate is changing. This is a fact. There are some natural cycles, yes, but they don't happen this fast. Humans have launched this change with deforestation, agriculture, and industry. We have accelerated this change with our addiction to coal, oil, and natural gas. We did this, and now we have unleashed a monster. The natural positive feedback cycles of methane release from thawing permafrost, increasing rate of Arctic ice melt through loss of reflectiveness, spread of pine bark beetles wiping out forests, and the least known phenomenon of ocean acidification. Science helps us name our monster, but what's in a name? Hurricane Katrina, Ike, Rita, Irene, Hurricane Sandy, the Frankenstorm. Was it a freak? Oh, freak is a bad word, kind of like retard, sorry. No, it wasn't. This storm happened exactly as climate scientists have been predicting for over a decade. New York City had half listened, so they were half prepared. But we forgot about the millions of other people without homes, electricity, clean water, fuel, and food, and our hype over the Big Apple's subway system. Drowning polar bears, starving penguins, boo-hoo. We know that the Anthropocene is going down in the geologic records as the 6th mass extinction, so who cares if climate change just puts the nail in the coffin for the biodiversity that keeps our precious species alive? We can just eat the soylent green wafers when it's all gone. What about poor women and children in Africa and Bangladesh who struggle through droughts and floods to get the water, food, and what they need to feed their families each day, to save farms from saltwater inundation, to stave off desertification, to protect their daughters from rape and human trafficking? Those impacts are too distant for us to grasp. How about a march of West Nile virus stemming from the perfect storm of a mild winter followed by a wet spring? How about an EF5 tornado in Joplin? That could have been us. How about flooding farms and communities along the Missouri and Mississippi rivers? How about getting dangerously close to official water shortages this past summer after a scorching heat wave? This is our region on climate change. It's hitting close to home. Are we prepared? Will we adapt? Can we evolve our culture, politics, and language to live well in our new reality? Or will we just sit by, collectively staring at our navels until we are so screwed that all we can do is crap in fear when the worst case scenario of climate change hits us? Who will scoop that up and carry it in a bag? We must claim power over the power of power. Who controls our power? Who controls our oil, coal, and natural gas? Who controls our food, our water, our air, our land? We look in the mirror and see that maybe we are the victim and the perpetrator. If you vote, you have power. If you spend money, you have power. If you drive, you have power. If you consume electricity and heat, you have power. We have the power to change. Do we have the will? The power to change and adapt resides with communities. We have the raw material and passion right here in Springfield to make this change, and we have formal and informal leaders to inspire that. We have incredible role models in our midst. We have local farmers and retail outlets to strengthen our food security. We have designers and builders ready to help us improve our energy and water use efficiency. We have organizations to help us protect our air and water quality. We have groups urging us to get out of our cars. We have parks and trails to keep us healthy and connected to our beautiful Ozarks. But we must do more and do it faster. We must plan for immigration of environmental refugees and anticipate the impacts of that growth on land use. We must plan for an increase in vector-borne diseases and respiratory trauma. We must plan even better for natural disaster response. We must plan for water shortage. We can do this. Doing this, coming together as a community to tackle our common challenges and threats, will strengthen the social fabric of our community and ensure that we have the flexibility, resilience, and compassion required to serve each other's needs in times of crisis and times of stability. But first, we must say the words. In the face of power, just say the words, climate change. We caused it, we didn't recognize it and slow it down in time, and now we must live with it. This is our new normal. We can survive and survive well as a community that is not afraid to use powerful words and not afraid of change.